to America, starring the Whiskey Novice.
Hello and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. That was my DJ introduction, I suppose you could call that. Yes, hello, welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. This is review number 76 and it is part one of another new series. This time, going back to America, back in America, something like that, whatever it said in the intro. And we're going to start with 1792. Small batch. The distillery there in Bardstown, Kentucky, owned by the Sazerac Company. And 1792, just as a little tidbit, was the year that Kentucky entered the United States of America, or became part of the United States of America. So there you have it, just a little tidbit for you. And before we go much further, this is a series to say, back in America. I did a series previously looking at some American offerings, and I felt like as if I had to go back because there's an awful, and I will go back again when this series is over at some other point, because there's an awful lot of good stuff comes from America. This isn't all bourbon, this series. There's obviously, this is a bourbon, a couple of bourbons and a couple of others which aren't bourbons, but I'm going to start, as I say, with this 1792. Now, before we go much further, I don't often do this. I don't often talk about bottles or anything like that. It doesn't really mean an awful lot to me. It's just a vessel, isn't it really? But I do think this one is rather fabulous. It is a thing of beauty, or it's the facade of a thing of beauty, really, isn't it? Because this beautiful cork, lovely cork, oh, listen to that. Well, I mean, there's absolutely no weight to it, but I mean, it still does look the part. Lovely little fake leatherette neck on it there, etc. But it does just look the part. It's a great eye-catching bottle for a cabinet. There you have it. But that's really not what this is about, is it? It's about what is inside it. So, here we go. Bottle at 46.85%. Why 8.85%? I don't know. But it has a great, fresh, resinous introduction to the nose. You do get a lot of what you expect of a bourbon. Now, if you're not, I would have been one, and I still sometimes am one that would look at bourbons and go, they're all very samey, aren't they? But when you put a few bourbons beside each other, looking for differences, they soon jump out. And when you do so, I've said this before, that a good bourbon will stand out against an average to poor bourbon. So what is this one? Well, as I said, fresh, resinous start to that, and the bourbon notes are there. Custard powder, dusty corn, toffee, even peanut butter and orange or something, with things that tend to show up, and they're here. And I do like this bourbon. I genuinely do. And there are things going on in the nose which work well. They don't always sound like great notes, but when you put them together in a good bourbon, they work. And in this case, hint of Matchbox. Now, when I say Matchbox, probably more the striker on what I would say redhead matches. They weren't safety matches, but the ones that, like the striker on a redhead Matchbox. There's even a slight hint of diesel, or it's not even just diesel. I'm going to say petrol station / gas station, wherever you're at in the world. When you're filling your car with diesel or petrol / gas, there's always a very distinct smell around that station. And it is in here. It's a smell I love. It genuinely is. I love the smell of a gas / petrol station. There is wood shavings. And when you back off a little, you start to get powdered sugar and even fresh linen. Yeah. It's a lovely nose for a bourbon. For me, this is a lovely, lovely nose. So, sweet and sour delivery. That volume's there now. The alcohol's there, but it's just working very well with it. Sweet and sour delivery. More of that dusty corn. More orange. Here's one for you. Curry leaf. I get a hint of curry leaf round the outside edges. Just me. Glucose syrup. I don't know how widely available Lucozade is around the world. But when I say glucose syrup, that's what one of your main constituents of Lucozade will be. It's a health drink, but it's a fizzy energy drink. That was the word I was looking for. And there's certainly a hint of it in the palate. More of those bourbon notes. Toffee. Vanilla. Oak. Slightly a bitter chocolate, but it's more evident right on the back of the palate into the finish. And as it's swirling around, then you start to get some of those sharper acetone notes, and there's even a nice sweet soft honey run through it. I do like this. I do like it really as a bourbon. I like it as a whiskey, if you want to call it that. It just fits well. Finish is medium to long. A little sharp, a little bitter. The dusty corn then starts to come around, starts to hang around at the back of the palate, hangs around in the finish. And it drifts away into cola. A reminder of a cola note, and almost yet again that glucose syrup and cola. Yeah, very much so. I haven't said deliberated over 1792 for a long time. Just, you know how it is. Sometimes you've got a list. 1792 was on my list to buy for ages and just never got round to it. And I've had this now for quite a while. I'm really, really enjoying it. It's got an awful lot to offer. I know there's a lot of people out there. I know there's an awful lot of you whiskey fans. Don't cross over into bourbon. Don't get with bourbon. If you want a good, easy going one, which is very, very accessible and very, very bold for something not that pricey. I think I paid, this is some in the UK here you'll get for 35 to 40 pounds. Not expensive. Coming out at 46.85%. So you're getting a thing of beauty in the bottle. You're getting a nice, tasty bourbon. Small batch? No, it ain't. You know, I know they would even claim that they're bottling in smaller batches, and that's where the small batch thing comes from. But even that, scores of these out there. It's not what we would consider small batch. It's just a name. But it used to actually carry an 8-year-old age limit or age statement on it. But that's not there anymore. It's probably a relatively young whiskey yet again. Yeah, and after a while, it's sort of those acetone notes, slight glue notes start to hang around. Not going to add water to this. I did whilst taking my tasting notes. Most bourbons I'll try water and everything. I've said it before. Oh, sorry, excuse me. And they just, I don't know, it made this a bit wishy-washy. Anything that was good about it seemed to get washed out with a little water, so I won't bother. The creaminess, the toffiness. Yeah, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, what's more to say than... Yes, if you like this. Now, this is another one that I had in my head and just went, yeah, this is... I know what this is like. And then I compared it to it. And it wasn't. So, I had to rethink that one. I tried another one, and it wasn't. I tried a third, and still didn't get it. And I ended up digging around in the back of my cupboard, because the reason, and I'm actually, this is almost reverse. If you like this, try this, because I would dare say there's probably more of you have tried this. Now, this is a funky bottle. It's the tattoo version. It's the tattoo version of Bullet Bourbon. I ordered a bottle of Bullet Bourbon one time, and they sent me the tattoo version for whatever reason. But this is a bit, because I would imagine there's probably more of you have had, and I could be wrong, Bullet Bourbon, because I think this is more readily available, certainly this side of the world, than 1792. You'll see this on supermarket shelves. You'll not see this here. So if you liked, if you've had this and you like this, and you want the same sort of experience as you get with Bullet Bourbon, but better. Oh, sorry. There we go. Apologies. If you like this, but I would suggest better, 1792. So there you go. If you like this, one way or the other, Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I feel all right, but I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yes, I'm going to wrap this up by saying, welcome to a new series. We're back in America. We're back with a good one. It will be a bit of a mixed up series, as I say. It's not all bourbons. And this, if you wanted to start a bourbon journey, you could probably start here without spending a whole lot of money, and it would be a good place to start. Or with the Bullet, it's a more affordable, less ABV, so you're, it'd be an easier start to a palate. But this is a bit of a quality for me. It really is. Anyway, I'll be back next week with something else from America. Till then, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the support. Thank you very much to my patrons. If you wish to join that group, the details are below. Till next time, here's your good health. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.